Chemistry with Pastor Dan. I went back and looked, and accidentally I had recorded the same lesson for 2 straight days. So therefore I am going to include this lab. Now, this lab is not my lab. It's put out by a company called Vernier, and it's part of what's called a lab quest. Let me show you an image here of a lab quest. These are actually pretty old now. They have newer models, but these are the ones that I use. This is your lab quest that records the data. This is your pressure sensor, which you're going to attach in your lab quest. And this is the syringe that you're going to put in the end. And you're going to start off at 10 milliliters. So you move the syringe right here back to 10 milliliters to start, screw it in, and begin to record the pressure. Now, I'm going to download the lab so you can read it through for yourself. When you read it, then go back and do the pre-lab questions. Which gas law is examined today? Which of our 3 gas laws, Boyle's law, Charles' law, or Gay-Lussac's law, are we looking at today? What instrument is used to measure pressure? Maybe we've already discussed that. Which devices determine the volume? Again, we might have already said that. Who knows? How many milliliters are added for each volume? Okay, that you're going to have to go back and look here, and we'll discuss that in a second. And what measurement is used to maintain constant throughout the lab. And so what measure assumed, so go back to the gas laws. All right, so when we're going to do this lab, you're going to attach, move this in at 10 milliliters, attach to the sensor at 10 milliliters. Now, because of this sensor here having its volume of its own, we're going to add 0.8 milliliters. So when you do the first volume, it should be 10.8 milliliters instead of 10 milliliters. You're then going to record the pressure like we have here in kilopascals. You're then going to pull it back to 12.5 on the syringe. Now, decreasing volume, increasing volume means decreasing pressure. Therefore, it's going to be a little hard. You have to pull back on it, and you're going to record what happens to the volume. And remember, that's going to add 0.5, so that's going to be 13.3. And then move it to 15 to a 15.8, 18.5, 17.5, which would be 18.3, and then lastly 20.0, 20.8 milliliters. Now you're going to record the pressures for each of those. Then you're going to do it in an inverse relationship by dividing pressure by volume, and then we're going to do a direct relation by multiplying it. When you do these, one of these two should get values that are relatively close, which gives us our constant value. The other one's going to be all over the place, which identifies that it's not a proper relationship. So you're going to do that. Now, I have a set of data. Unfortunately, I didn't notice this till afterwards, so I've got 4 sets of data, but they forgot to record the 17.5 or the 18.3. So you're just going to have 4 data spots. And what you're going to ask to do then is identify a relationship. So we're going to, if you wanted to, you could plot those out, volume versus pressure, and see what happens as we do that. Now, identify which relationship, and then again, conclusion. Remember, when you do conclusion for me, always do at least 3 sentences. What did you learn? Explain an area. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. Take care. God bless.